Hidden Road now becomes Ripple Prime. Brad Garlinghouse and the rest of the industry is weighing in on this monumental shift and move in the crypto space. Ripple, XRP, RLUSD will be represented for financial institutions. As this gets bigger and bigger, more connections will grow and more things will be announced. Let's go through the latest and best news and information that we are seeing right now. Brad Garlinghouse says today, with today's close of Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime, Ripple has announced 5 acquisitions in 2 years. G Treasury last week, Rail in August, Standard Custody in 2024, and Medico in 2023. As we continue to build solutions towards enabling the Internet of Value, I'm reminding you that all XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does. Lock in. So what this means, ladies and gentlemen, if Ripple, the company, if you believe Ripple is positioned well across the world, here in the United States and all over, then they are going to be using XRP in their full suite of products. The more XRP that needs to be used inside of the system, the more demand we will see on a global scale. This is only good news ahead. Ripple also posted this introducing Ripple Prime. We're pleased to share that our acquisition of Hidden Road is officially complete, making Ripple the first crypto company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime broker. It does look like Ripple is the first in a lot of these areas. Remember, they still need a few pieces to really be able to compete with your JP Morgans of the world, but I do think we are getting there. Mr. Mann says, I'd like to introduce you to Ripple Prime. So there's a lot of people talking about this. Michael Arrington also weighed in, says we are finally onboarded with Hidden Road. It has a bunch of incredible tools for businesses as a hedge fund. Ripple has made some incredible acquisitions, but Hidden Road may be the best one so far. There are incredible synergies between the Hidden Road business and Ripple stablecoin, for example. Now, I also wanted to understand a little bit here. I replied to Brad's message. I wanted to better understand how they're going to be using RLUSD, because the whole thing here is $10 billion a day in clearing. We do know that RLUSD is both on Ethereum and on XRP. The majority share is on Ethereum. So I just wanted to clarify, hey, are we going to be using XRP for this? And so that is what my message here says. Brad, many in the XRP community are trying to understand how clearing and settlement process will work now that Ripple is integrated with Hidden Road under Ripple Prime. We've heard RLUSD mentioned as the core settlement asset, but is that RLUSD operating on the XRP ledger or on Ethereum? The distinction really matters, especially for those following developments of G Treasury and institutional liquidity. XRP holders are hopeful that XRP and XRPL will play a direct role in these settlements and post-trade systems. So just trying to get some double clarification, if you will. And I did think this kind of takes us back to Brad Garlinghouse's, Crypto in a Minute here, the 60-second video talking about a one-stop shop for Ripple. Let's play it.
A prime broker is really a one-stop shop that allows all kinds of different asset managers, whether these are well-known hedge funds, trading desks, market makers. It gives them a one-stop shop venue to trade and clear everything from digital assets, derivatives, swaps, all kinds of different assets. And these guys are doing trillions of dollars of trades. Historically, those have been really owned by the traditional commercial banks, the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs. Banks now don't do, well, new players like Hidden Road, a company Ripple bought recently, is new to this space, and they're growing very quickly by serving that same market, but also including digital assets as part of the mix. Having a well-capitalized and a super strong balance sheet player like Hidden Road is allowing more institutions to come into these asset classes against a well-capitalized counterparty, and that is prime brokers bringing people into crypto in 1 minute.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, bringing people into crypto in 1 minute. Brad Garlinghouse weighing in here, telling us that these institutions, these hedge funds are doing trillions of dollars in settlement. This could be a huge push for other financial institutions to start gaining and working with Ripple. Michael Arrington here is not a small player. He's the founder of TechCrunch, Crunchbase, and Arrington Capital. If Arrington Capital is out here talking about how good the technology is, you better believe other institutions are looking at that as well. And then Smoke Dog says Ripple's Hidden Road acquisition positions RLUSD to disrupt the USDC USDT stablecoin dominance. The underlying strategic rationale supporting this acquisition was proliferation of Ripple's newly introduced stablecoin RLUSD. Ripple will be integrating RLUSD into institutional trading flows as a way to begin to penetrate the Tether Circle duopoly. And you don't get to say duopoly very much, guys. But I just wanted to ask, guys, if you're getting content from this channel, if you're liking the stuff that we put out, if you're not subscribed, thinking about doing that, it does help the channel. We've been growing pretty insanely over the last few months here, and it's all thanks to your support. So I just want to take a second and thank you. I know your time is extremely valuable, and I honor that deeply. Smoke also said, with Ripple's acquisition of Hidden Road finalized, it's finally time to supercharge XRP's utility. Says for Ripple, this is a bold move to expand from the preliminary a cross-border payments or crypto liquidity provider to a full-scale institutional finance player. Full-scale institutional finance player. That's a sexy sentence. To hedge funds and financial institutions, this could supercharge XRP's utility as well. In fact, Hidden Road plans to migrate its post-trade clearing onto the XRP ledger, showcasing the blockchain's ability to handle high volume institutional flows. And I wanted to take a look at what could this mean for the XRP ledger, $10 billion a day. It's nothing crazy, but it is a start. Hidden Road's use of the XRP ledger preliminary focuses on post-trade settlement and infrastructure, not direct XRP settlements. Ripple confirmed that RLUSD, its Ripple USD stablecoin, will serve as collateral across the prime broker operations, while XRPL will focus transactions and record settlement. So it does, people believe that this is going to happen and settle on the XRP ledger. I really wanted to get a definite 100% confirmation from the Ripple team, though. If XRP was used as a bridge asset, even partial flows could drive significant price impact. For instance, a current volumes $2 XRP, $120 billion market cap, $10 billion in daily utility-driven transfers implies massive increases in liquidity, velocity, and potentially causing repricing due to reduced circulating supply. So this is going to come into play. Remember, G Treasury is about $34 billion a day. You throw on this $10 billion, now you're at $44 billion a day. You start to throw on any other acquisitions. Maybe you have Rail. They're doing, a significant amount of volume. Ripple could acquire other businesses here. The goal is to get this 50 billion, 100 billion, 500 billion, and then into the trillions. If we can start doing that, our XRP is going to be worth a whole lot more than it is today. And I think that's what a lot of us are waiting for. What needs to happen to enable trillions to flow in XRP and settlement? To scale to 10 billion to trillions, several structural layers are required. Liquidity, scaling, and bridges. XRPL would need deep on-chain liquidity pools and interoperable stablecoin rails like RLUSD and CBDCs to support large institutional settlements without slippage. Institutional integration and compliance. Ripple is positioning the XRP ledger to meet bank-grade clearing standards, enabling settlement for tokenized treasuries, commodities, and derivatives similar to Swift-level infrastructure. Parallel transaction throughput expansion. XRPL currently handles thousands of transactions per second. Scaling to trillions implies modular ledger frameworks, horizontally scalable validator clusters, and sidechain interoperability. Does talk about liquidity pool, 700 billion plus. According to Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse, this analyst models XRPL would need roughly 700 billion in liquidity to support volumes equivalent to 14% of Swift. So maybe something to look forward to here over the next few years. Tokenized of global assets. The majority of $1 trillion scale transactions will drive from tokenized real world assets such as tokenized US treasuries, FX, real estate, and corporate debt being moved to the XRP ledger rails. That could also greatly benefit us. And of course, there's a lot of people talking about the deal being done. Great to see it. Matthew LINY chimes in here. He says, Ripple will move more institutional transactions. Ripple will move more institutional transactions into digital because there is a cost saving. Speed and liquidity make the infrastructure shift permanent. The FICC membership will transform security offerings. And so he's just kind of mentioning this for non-bank entities that are members of clearinghouses such as FICC can offer clients and benefits of centralized clearing, which enhances market stability and reduces counterparty risk. Hidden Road's FICC membership enables it to facilitate efficient transactions and provide clients with improved access to liquidity. And then highlighted example here, it says, for example, Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin pegged to the US dollar will be utilized as collateral across Hidden Road's prime brokerage products, including repo transactions. The reason repo transactions is important, the repo market clears anywhere from $2 to $8 trillion a day. So it is significant. Sooner or later, ladies and gentlemen, all of this clearing will be done on blockchain. The only question I have right now is how much of that clearing and settlement will be specifically done through Ripple and XRP. And I think the numbers here are probably going to be staggering. You got to understand there's not a lot of other players in the space right now that can compete with the level that Ripple is currently at. So you start to wonder, are financial institutions just going to say, hey, Ripple has the solutions we need, doesn't really get much better than this. They are the biggest blockchain infrastructure company in the world. They are the most compliant blockchain infrastructure company on the world. At what point do banks say, yes, this is the time? All right. And then Brad Garlinghouse said a long time ago, this is back in 2021, that Ripple could be the next Amazon. Let me play it.
And I think Ripple is in a position that I compare to Amazon circa 1997, where Amazon at those ages, which you and I will remember, it wasn't Amazon, it was Amazon Books. The name of the company was Amazon Books, and it competed with Borders and Barnes & Noble. Today, obviously, it does lots of things. I think of Ripple, our first vertical, the books is to cross-border payments for Ripple. And
all right, let's keep it going, guys. I got a few other things I want to show you. Chad Steingraber also posted some information here about Ripple Prime. It's about to get real good. He's saying Ripple will inject billions of dollars in capital to provide immediate scale and satisfy the demand for Hidden Road's prime brokerage clearing financing platform. RLUSD becomes the first stablecoin to enable efficient cross margining between digital assets and traditional markets, reinforcing its position as a premium enterprise-grade USD-backed stablecoin. Hidden Road to migrate post-trade activity across the XRP ledger, demonstrating its potential as the go-to blockchain for institutional decentralized finance. And of course, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you got value. If you did, you can leave a comment. You can like the video. You can share this video with a friend. I really appreciate you. I will see you in the next one. Aloha.